After a somewhat lackluster start to the season, Supersport United have now bolstered their squad and made some key acquisitions during the transfer window and now appear to be turning their fortunes around heading into the second half of the season. Matsatsantsa recently became the first team to progress to the last 8 of the current Nedbank Cup campaign and were further bolstered by a morale-boosting 4-1 league win over Kaizer Chiefs midweek. Club CEO Stanley Matthews joins us now via Zoom to share a bit more about the path ahead then as Supersport United still look to finish in the top 8 stand. Thank you so much for joining us and for giving us your time here this morning. Perhaps your reflections of how things have gone for the team the season so far. Started off a bit shaky towards the bottom of the standings, but it certainly looks from the outside that things are starting to turn around now.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, and not a good start for us to the season. A little bit unlucky in certain ways. You know, Pirates in the MTN 8 and then Chiefs in the Carling Cup. So, you know, we couldn't really get going in either of the first 2 cups. Now we've got Pirates again in the quarterfinals of the Nedbank, which is a big game, a nice game for the club, and in a way a free hit for us. We've got a decent record against Pirates in the Cup. When we did the Nedbank back-to-back 2016, 2017, both those Nedbank Cup victories were against Pirates, 3-2 in Polokwane and 4-1 at Moses Mabhida. So I think, you know, from our point of view, it's a complete free hit. Everyone's expecting Pirates to beat us in the Cup. So we can have a go. And I think, you know, obviously the bigger priority and concern for us is our league form. You know, probably it is our worst, you know, league campaign, basically in my 25 years at the club. We've never had such a low points haul after 18 games. But we did show glimpses on Tuesday against Chiefs. To show that we can actually hurt teams. We've only scored 6 goals in the first 17 league games. And then we scored 4 in one game. So, you know, for us, like you said, it was a morale-boosting win, but it was just 3 points. We didn't move at all in the league table because all the teams behind us also won. So, you know, it's a tough, competitive PSL landscape, and the league is our priority. We're not... Inside the club, we're not overly dispirited in terms of what playing staff we have, what coaching staff we have, the united group that we have together. We've had a few blips before.
Apologies, Stan. I'm just going to interject here as we're trying to chase the time, as we want to talk about the transfers and the acquisitions that you brought into the side then to see the turn of results. But murmurs that Ime Elkan could be on his way out. Any update in terms of whether he's going to be staying with the side and where he could be headed to?
Yeah, look, Ime will be with us till the end of the season, whatever happens. So we'll hold on to him. But, you know, by July, we anticipate that, you know, there's a couple of European offers for him, and we're not going to stand in his way. I think we've said as a club, and we've shown, you only have to look at the progress of Chandre Campbell in Bruges, now with the Champions League squad and with the first team, and he's only 19 years old. So, you know, Ime's got a bright future ahead of him in Europe. Where he decides to go and which European club he wants to go to, we've kind of left up to him. But we've given him permission in principle to make the move. And so, you know, by July, we'll have another player in Europe, and we're developing a good conveyor belt of players in Europe that in the future will stand the club in good stead. Our future onward sail in percentage in these players that go to Europe is significant and can lead to 50, 60, 80, 100 million rand coming into the club down the line. So, you know, we're taking a sacrifice in the short term, losing good players like Chandre and Ime. But we're also looking at the long-term sustainability of the club and the capacity for the club to have revenue for the next few years.
Before I let you go, let's address the elephant in the room for a moment, if we will. Royal AM, a number of clubs have been making statements in terms of the potential impact this could have on the PSL. Has this destabilized you at all as Supersport United, and perhaps your position then on what's been happening and how you would want things to be resolved as the season looks to go forward?
No, for us, Royal AM's got nothing to do with us. We've got our goals, and the points tally that we want to amass and where we want to finish in terms of hopefully maintaining our top 8 run, which is a record run in the country, 24 consecutive top 8s, and we don't want to let that go. We're going to have to work exceptionally hard to make it happen. And if we just miss out, it's not the end of the world. We've got a lot of good young players coming through the conveyor belt. We've got a good band of players in the 24 to 27-year-old bracket now in the club, which we haven't had before. So we inside the club, we're very confident about the work that we're doing. Our Diski Challenge team is up there in the top 3 again in the Diski League after winning it 2 years ago. So we've rebuilt an entirely new team, and again a great crop of players with great prospects to play for the club, to play in Europe, and hopefully also those who don't make it in Europe will be able to be transferred to Chiefs or Pirates or Sundowns, one of the big 3 clubs down the line. So we've got a good conveyor belt coming through with the club.
Yes, Dan, I think apologies. We'll have to leave it there. My sincere apologies. We have run out of time, but we will pick up the conversation perhaps as we look to unpack a number of other things, including that loan clause involving Mamelodi Sundowns. But